In its quest to provide an open forum for discussion of controversial issues, this station allows hosts and their guests to express themselves without any significant censorship. You're advised that any views expressed by the hosts or their guests are not necessarily the views of Togi Entertainment or its partners.
It's time for Sex Talk with Lou Paget on TogiNet. So, have you ever wondered if you're normal or why you feel distant from your partner? Why they keep doing that? Want to recreate a truly connected relationship? Or wondered, how do I tell my partner or kids about things? Then this is your chance to be a fly on the wall and learn about one of the most important parts of our health, our sexual health. Lou Paget is a certified sex educator, an international best-selling author. And not only will Lou and her guests discuss the most current research, they will put you at the head of the class on good, solid, scientifically based information and how it will impact you and your family. Known for delivering information about sexuality and relationships, sans the sleaze factor, while retaining all the accuracy, fun, and the you're kidding factor. Let's get to it. Sex Talk with Lou on TogiNet. And now, here's your host, Lou Paget.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for being with us this evening. Tonight, I am going to be having a conversation with a woman who, this is one of those necessity is the mother of invention stories. And really, when one looks at the demographics of the people that are impacted by the product that she is the co-founder of, it's really quite shocking that there aren't more things that actually support and, as her product is called, renew the tissue. And the product that I'm talking about tonight, I'm going to be interviewing Olga Cohen. Now, Olga, you're on the line, correct?
I am. Good evening.
Good evening, and thank you so much for being here. Now, your company, you are the co-founder of Growing Technologies, and your product is Inner Intimates.
Vaginal Renewal Complex. Inner Intimates is our brand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And here's the thing. I mean, when I look at the numbers, that you had in your press kit, 65 million women are in the perimenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal.
Mm-hmm.
And then why don't we just add in the women who have just delivered a child?
That's right.
Who are stressed, who are taking antidepressants, who are taking forms of oral birth control, which can also impact. And we've got a huge number of women who are just topically treating this issue, and the issue being vaginal dryness.
Mm-hmm. I suffered with vaginal dryness. I went into very early menopause, and I spent many years on replacement hormones. And when I went off of them after 10 years, all my symptoms came back, and vaginal dryness was amongst them. Mm-hmm. And it was really was terrible. So,
and you had just gotten married.
I did. I did. It was no fun. and who would have imagined that that this would happen at 43 and there I was with a dry vagina and not very happy.
Exactly. Now, here's the other thing. I think people need to know that you have a very strong background in the area of consumer products. And as I said at the top, necessity being the mother of adventure, you went looking. So let's start with the phone rang and you went looking. Where was your first stop?
Well, I come from the cosmetic industry. I owned my own cosmetic manufacturing company, mm-hmm. which gave me access to a lot of wonderful essential oils. And when I started researching alternatives to taking hormone therapy, I realized and was advised to try primrose oil.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that primrose oil has some wonderful effects, especially when you have PMS, and it helps build a suppleness of the vagina, of tissue. And when I started using it straight out of a little capsule, I realized that there was a difference. So Dr. Leo Galland, who's an integrated medical doctor in New York, helped me pull this formula together, which is really a complex of 4 natural oils, and put together in different percentages really helps build a suppleness of the vaginal wall and bring back that moisture that we lose when we go into menopause or other related conditions.
Right. Now, here's a question I would ask. If it does the suppleness for that tissue, which is, it's highly vascularized and absorptive, would it do the same thing for your face?
Well, that is interesting because, it's very funny. I have a lot of different parts of my body that I try this oil on. I would put it on my face. I have put it on my hair. I have very curly hair that I do a lot of things to. So just to get the frizz out, I put a little bit of oil. I mean, these are natural oils. How can they hurt? And I put it on my hair, and it takes the frizz out of it.
Okay, because your hair, I've seen the pictures of your hair, and your hair is straight.
Well, it is. I would do a lot of work on it.
Okay. But I'm just, I look, when, you're talking about the primrose oil and what its qualities are, to me, one should be able to use it on other areas like lips and things.
Yes, I use it on I use it on my face. I use it on my nail beds because it helps heal the cuticle around your nails. It's really an amazing oil, and it's so interesting because one of my users had called. She had just had surgery, vaginal surgery, big surgery, and she said that she had to stop inserting it for a few weeks, but then she realized that she started taking it and putting it on the incision near her vagina, and it started feeling better and healing. So she put some in her bath water and took sitz baths with it. You see, it's a very interesting oil.
Because, I know I've interviewed other people who have primrose oil in their products for women who are, prenatal care.
Yeah.
And it just seems like an all-around, magical product. But you've got 4 other products in here. And if I can just back up for one moment, Leo Galland, how did you know to go to him? Because I know you had the conversation with your gynecologist.
I did. Well, my first conversation was with Leo because he happens to be my brother. And that made it very comfortable for me to call him. And he's worked with these essential oils and has a database like no one I know. And I called him and I said, this is what I'm thinking, and I need some help. Well, he did put this complex together, and I went then to see my normal appointment with Dr. Green, who was so astounded at the change in my vagina. She said, what are you doing? I said, well, I gave her the story behind it, and she said, listen, women need to know about this. I can't believe how healthy your vagina looks. And that's the truth.
And that was in a span of a month, right?
It was, no, it was longer than a month. There was a few months that I between the time I started using vaginal renewal and I went to see Dr. Green, maybe it was 3-4 months later.
Okay. I was mistaken on that. But so, I mean, here's the nice thing. This is your brother who has all of that medical and all of that alternative background, and you can say, look, something needs to be done here.
That's right. Well, nobody talks about this. I speak with women all week long. Some of them are very hesitant to discuss their personal issues. So what I do is I talk about myself because I'm their contemporaries. And most of them are more my age. Some are younger, though, because we get women who just had babies who were breastfeeding. We've had women with autoimmune diseases that just Sjogren's. Their vaginas get dry like the rest of their body, and they really love it, and it works. That's the thing; it works.
And there's no hormones.
And it's hormone free. It is a complex of 4 oils. One being evening primrose oil. The second being pure shea oil, which gives moisture and spreadability to the primrose oil. The third being vitamin E, which is an antioxidant and gives longevity to the product. And the fourth being vitamin D3. What could be better? We know that heals tissue.
Now,
and strengthens the tissue and the wall. So
now, please tell our listeners, what is the difference between something that, because many people know about lubricants. I know in my field it is probably the most crowded area
oh, yes.
of the product, and the majority of the stuff is absolute garbage.
That's right. I tried it all, by the way. I tried it all.
I'm sure you did.
I've implanted things that just pour out of me because they're basically water-based products. When I see some of the ingredients, mineral oil, I wouldn't put mineral oil on my body. It clogs the pores. Water doesn't absorb. It pours out of you. Glycerin is like a topical gel, you know. Those are things we used in the cosmetic business, but not to make to mix and to create colors and things such as that.
Right. Now, we have 2 minutes until our first break. Can you tell people the difference between what is happening with vaginal renewal complex? It is actually going into the tissue, correct?
Correct. It comes in an applicator that goes right into the vagina, a pre-measured amount. You plunge the applicator, and it goes into the walls of the vagina, and it absorbs into the tissue.
And that tissue is very highly vascularized, so it absorbs quickly.
Yes.
Now, I know that you had said that there are, for some women, you know, this is normally in a 1 month supply, correct? To be used once every 5 days or every 5 days?
No, I recommend to start 5 times a week. And I started it 5 times a week because I was on hormone. I was on Vagifem, and when I was testing the product, I didn't want it to interfere with the pill that I was implanting.
Okay.
But it worked so well, and after about 4 months, I was off of all hormones.
Now, we are going to, in 30 seconds, we're going for a break here. Tonight, my guest is Olga Cohen. She is co-founder with Dr. Miriam Green. And please remind me again your brother's name.
Leo Galland.
Leo Galland. And they have a company, Growing Technologies, and their trademark name is for the vaginal renewal complex is Inner Intimates. And if you go on to the TogiNet site, you will see a link to get to her, to connect with her. And when we come back, we're going to be going more into the things that she has found and how this has helped other women and is there for the other 65 million American women who are in this age group. Please stay with us.